as we went through that process. Unfortunately, our top candidate was understandably a top candidate in other districts. And had an offer at same time as ours, and thought the other district was a better fit. So board and I are going to regroup, reassess next steps. So I'd like to make a motion. I make a motion for deletion of the hiring of new superintendent agenda item. We're here seconds. So moved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. I'd also like to make another agenda addition for an executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss personnel issue. No decisions are expected to be made, but want to have some time to discuss those things. Any seconds?
1 second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Agenda is amended. Thank you. So moving, I skipped over public comment. Thank you. As soon as Jill got up, I jumped right over it. Thank you. Any public comment?
No.
Online? All right, we'll jump to item 5, consent agenda, board minutes, personnel updates, vouchers, payroll, contracts, policy, second reading. Any discussion on any of those items? If not, a motion to accept the consent agenda. I'll move. Neil, second. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda passes. All right, we'll jump to reports. Student reports, Zach.
All right. Nothing's really been happening here, but we do have some fun events happening then this week. So baseball, they just beat Tenino last Monday. Well, not completely. They won 13-8, and they still have 2 more games, which should be happening tomorrow. And then fast pitch with their second place win against state last year. They're hoping for another state run again. Track has having their senior nights on April 2nd, very early this year, for our first and last home meet, and we will be having a meet tomorrow at Adna. And then boys soccer, they beat Hoquiam 2-1 last Monday, and they beat Illawak last Tuesday 8-0. Girls golf, they have a match tomorrow at Riverside versus Monty, and also our clubs and band. Most state competitions for clubs are happening following spring break, with around 45 kids heading to state competitions. And then finally, my most favorite thing is ASB is hosting a Spring Fest this Saturday, 11 to 3. We're having food, carnival games, some vendors, and an Easter egg hunt. Easter egg hunt starts at 12.
Thank you very much for your participation in the last couple of nights, helping us. Really appreciate it, and great questions and interactions with our candidates. Really appreciate that feedback. Any questions for Zach?
I do. Is the Easter egg hunt and all of those festivities for the public, or?
Yes, really for the public.
It's for the
Awesome.
public.
All right. Well, before we move to the facilities updates, Zach, again, I want to thank you for your late nights last couple of nights, and you are free to stay. Free to go. Thank you very much. All right, facilities updates. Ed. Ed?
Yes.
Yeah.
You followed it. Okay, what we're looking at here is a picture of RPS. I think I put the wrong thing up there, but this is RPS. Very wrong title on there. But
Sorry.
This is the RPS building. We're in the process of going to bid for putting a new roof on that. That building and RMS are both due for roofs. We elected to do the RPS roof first. Jennifer and Casey and I may have some conversations about including the RMS roof from some of the conditions I seen last week when we were doing some roof repair. So next photo should be the RPS sports field. We're getting in the process now of gonna take that turf rejuvenator that we purchased last year and start trying to work that field over as grass is starting to grow. Now we're gonna do that in 2 sections. Try to do half of it because the other half is still being used by the kids during the day. We've used that turf rejuvenator at the middle school and it works out really good in leveling the ground. It's just really hard when you use it when it's not growing season because it doesn't really. When the grass is growing, it takes about 30% of the grass away and helps aerate and boosts the growth. But when grass isn't growing, it helps bring it to dirt. So, but we're at the point that the field was pretty rough, so we had to use it there. Next one. This is the RMS irrigation system that has been sucked up into tree roots and grew all the wires into the roots of the trees. We had to remove that tree and then go through that root system to get all the wires and everything out of it. You can't see it in that picture, but that's about 50 wires, all the same color. So you can't sever any of them because you'll never know what head and what wire that went to. Yeah, quite the challenge. The challenge we've been facing at the middle school is with the sports field being so rough, we have to be able to turn all the irrigation system on so we can ID where the heads are before we can go out there with that turf rejuvenator. Because if you hit a head and pipe, you'll just destroy the system. We couldn't get the system to charge up because there's so many, the trees have done so much damage to the root system in the front and in the rear that we couldn't do that. So we had to try to go in and isolate the system. So we successfully isolated the sports field from the main building. So then we can charge the sports field, find out where the heads are. We've used a sports rejuvenator out there and it works. It does a fantastic job. So we've since removed that tree. We got the irrigation going strong to the field. So I got big hopes for what's going to happen with that as we get into growing season and the grass grows. And, you know, right now we get kids on all the time. As soon as we get kids off it, it'll start hardying up. So we still have the mole issues and all that we're chasing, but at least we can go to them as they appear. So. This is also an RMS. This is trees out front. One of them decided to wrap around the main fire hydrant line. The other one, the picture on the right, those are water valves. It's actually busted the concrete plates and we're lifting them up. We've cut those trees out. We have dug down, removed the stumps. This was a challenge. I tried to find an outside contractor that could help assist with this and they all politely declined because of the severity of the roots going around the water pipes. So we have successfully got them out with no damage. I mean, those are main lines coming into the building. We've seeded it. We're waiting for grass to grow and for roots to decay away so that we can get in there and make sure all the water pipes are good at this point, but you never know what can or can't happen if a tree root decides to grow and sprout someplace else. That was a bit of a challenge. Before I talk about this one, I will also add that at the RMS, talk a little bit about the roof. The roof it's due. They're 20-year roof, and RPS and RMS are both at that age. We're gonna have to probably give a little more attention towards the RMS roof at this point. We had a leak last week. We repaired it, but I've noticed that the shingles have some pretty good deterioration in them. This is the RHS Stadium. Who would think that you wouldn't want to put sheetrock underneath the ceiling on an outside stadium? I don't know, but that's what we're dealing with is after all these years and moisture, chunks of that are falling off. So what we're doing is we're in the process of replacing the parts that are deteriorated with plywood, painted so it's presentable. It's just another one of the challenges that school seems to present to us. This here is the boiler room at GMES. The picture on the right is the inside of that boiler room. The picture on the left is the actual boiler room itself. That has a TPO roof on it. It's the flat roof. And I mean, right now getting bids to replace that. That was not replaced when we did the whole roof of the rest of the school. It was a substantial cost for just that. The bids we're getting now are actually cheaper than the bids we got to do that 8 years ago when we did the rest of the school. So we've saved our money in not doing it then, but now it's time to do it. That picture on the right was the picture of all the you can see some of the leaks on the ceiling and whatnot. That's the boiler room. Which is nice with that school. It's an external boiler room. So when we're doing all that, it doesn't affect the school at all. It's completely external from the building. Okay. Next, this is the new school van that we bought. Picture of the interior and then the van on the right. The other day, I witnessed that van and the CTE van driving out at the same time, which is very similar. We looked like we had it going on with our kids in new vans. So it was kind of nice versus seeing an old blue and rust colored one and, 20 other year old van. So, before we go to that, I missed one thing here that I was going to talk about. At RMS, we're also in the process of repairing the siding. During some of our ICOS reports, I noticed that the siding is deteriorating. I had some contractors out looking at it, so we're not going to do a full replace. We're just we should be able to repair what we have there. Just after so many years, some of the seams and the caulk are deteriorating, the siding's starting to pull away. So if we put some attention into it now, we shouldn't have to worry about replacing, just simply repairing. So I'm waiting for bids to come in on that. Okay. Last one, this is a stack of firewood. The trees that we took out several years ago, we came out good on the harvest of those trees. We sold the marketable timber, and the oversized timber covered the costs and put a little bit of money in our pocket for those trees that were damaged. And then we were left with quite a bit of oversized burden wood. There will only take so much oversized wood in the mill. So we have cut the remainder, some of the other wood up, making room for the JV girls fast pitch field. We were able to donate 2 cords of that wood to the senior auction, and we sold 2 cords there, and we were able to donate 1 cord to the RFAN auction that just took place here. And so yeah, it was nice to give back to them. Any questions?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. When do you guys hydro seed or run the machine through the middle school field?
Probably 2 weeks ago, week and a half, something like that. I don't know the exact date.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rough because I mean it levels the field good, but this time of year it's hard because the grass isn't growing strong. It's designed to level because it aerates everything, it blends everything. It's like rototiller, but it doesn't kill 70% of the grass. But when the grass isn't growing, you're taking away some of it. But we're at the point it was so rough that it needed to be done. It's also been grassy. It's been helping get trampled in with little cleats. So we'll have to
Early
address
March
that as we go. Yeah, it's just we got sports before growing season. It's just the way it is. There's not a whole lot we can do about it.
Thank you.
This is your last. Bill, business reports?
So for our enrollment summary in March, we had just over 1,980 students. Okay, I've been awake way too many hours in the last 30 days because I can't even see. Running Start, we had 54 students participating in Running Start and 20 were Running Start only. 29 students at Heart. Sped count at 371, and there were 11 kids available to be counted for the dropout engagement program with Gravity. This is our enrollment trend in the picture. You can see it's going the wrong direction it would be. We're funded on annual average, so we're still, as of this month, funded within the amount we had budgeted for, so we're still okay for budget. At the end of February, the fiscal year is 50% of the year complete. Our revenues at 45.5 and our expenditures at 50. Revenues look low, but that's pretty normal this time of year because our local revenues will pop up in April when we get a levy payment, and our federal revenues are always a month behind. This is a little more detail of our general fund ending fund balance. 395,000 of our fund balance is restricted for carryover. So those are programs like LAT or food service or TK. And then 1.9 million was available to be committed to the board's fund balance policy. So it's a little lower than the policy states, but it should move forward when we get our levy payments. And then a breakdown of our 5 funds. So general fund, again, at 2.3 million, capital projects at 3.9 million. So when Ed talks about the primary school roof replacement, that's the fund that we'll be using to pay for that. Debt service at 851,000, ASB at 654,000, and transportation vehicle at 186,000. So you don't often see expenditures out of transportation vehicle, but that van that Ed just showed was paid for with this fund. Any questions?
No surprises there, right?
Nope.
It's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, move on to the superintendent report.
All right, so just a few things to share tonight. First of all, we had Future Chef competition last week or the week before. There were 6 chefs and we had kids that were making lupias, they were making German spaghetti. Polish, there we go, Polish spaghetti. We had crepes, we had what else?
Street tacos.
Street tacos, there we go. Tacos, and I think you had some of the street tacos, or our candidates had some of the street tacos. The kids did a great job. Every year. Yep. Every year, the Future Chef competition has just been great. This year, I think it was even more difficult than it's ever been. These kids did a great job of making their dishes and providing them for us to taste. And they were all kids who really, truly enjoyed cooking. And the young man who made the street tacos, he's actually a pie baker, and he will tell you that what he really wants to do is bake pies. And could talk to you. He told me all about this banana pie that he made last week. So it was a very fun event. The other thing I want to share with you is Miss Parsons' class, RMS. She invited some of Chehalis tribal members in to talk about Billy Frank Jr. Day. And that happened about 2.5 weeks ago. And it was really well received by our kids. They had good conversations about treaty laws that Billy Frank Jr. was a big part in making sure were implemented in our area. They did a lot of learning, and they learned together as kids working together, and then also learned from members of the Chehalis tribe, which was really nice. And then Miss Parsons received a phone call, and it was from Billy Frank Jr.'s son, Willie Frank Jr. And he said, "Hey, I hear you were, presenting and you had some discussion in your class about Billy Frank Jr. Day. I would love to come and talk to your kids." And so last Friday, he came in with Dr. Larson from Evergreen College, and they talked with the kids and had another great day and continued learning in this area. I think the other thing to point out is that Ms. Parsons also invited parents in. So there were a lot of parents in her classroom, especially for the first opportunity of learning in this area. And really she's been working all year to get parents to come in and be a part of the learning that our kids are engaging in. And so it was a great day. Good learning taking place by all. The other thing I want to recognize is National History Day. So this is something I don't know if it's been ever done in the district, but it is. We had high school kids who went to National History Day. There's both. They do a local competition, then they do a regional competition, and now we have students who will be headed to state. The kids, there's themes for History Day. This year it's Revolution, Reaction, Reform, and History. And the kids select a topic within that theme, and I couldn't tell you exactly how they all connect, but they then present, and they can present using technology for a presentation tool. They can use the presentation boards. They can create books that would tell a story. They really can present in any way that they choose. to tell the story about the history and how it's impacting them and the world that we live in today. So we had 6 students who, after the local competition, went on to be to represent RHS at the regional competition. And then we now have 2 groups of kids that are going to the state competition, which is, and the first time out, that is absolutely wonderful to see them headed there. So you see the first one, does anybody know? Sarah Shell, there we go. Aldrich, going as an individual, and the topic was the February Revolution. And then Chloe Hess and Harley Freeman in a group exhibit, with their topic being how soccer revolutionized sports medicine. So maybe once they get done at state, we'll have them come and share with us what their presentations are.
Cool. Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk to you about is the capital levy, the water system capital levy. Election day is April 28th. It will be on the ballot. I want to make sure everybody's aware that there's information sessions on March 31st, which is next Tuesday night, April 13th and April 15th. Ed and I have been going around to whenever there is a large group of parents or even a smaller group of parents, just people gathering together and presenting. And we'll be working with sharing information at all 3 of those nights. And I think Casey's going to be joining us as well on those nights. So just to have opportunities for people to ask questions and to make sure they know and have the information they need to make their decision on election day. I also want to share that next week we have conference week. And so every parent that comes into a conference is going to be receiving a flyer with information about the levy with pictures on it. We're asking our teachers to share some information, and then administrators in the buildings sharing information, and just make sure everybody's aware of the levy. And then I want to note that both our certificated and classified staff have come together, and they are working on planning a event where they'll be handing out water at some of our baseball and fast pitch games, so that with a little message on the water bottle about the levies, and then also doing a phone bank on April 16th. So really appreciate the support there. And then we will have a postcard that will be mailed to all voters in our district. That postcard should be hitting the mailboxes on April 8th and 9th at the same time as our ballots and our information of the voters pamphlet will be. We have a video that we're working on putting together with ESD. It's starring Ed. And so he's
Who'd have known?
He's gonna be great. I saw the work being done to put it together today, and there's nobody that knows our water system better and can explain the water system better than Ed. So it'll be really nice to have him in video so that that can be explained to everybody that wants to spend the time listening. It's going to be a shorter video. It's not going to be a long one, so that people can watch, but we're also going to be able to pull snippets out of it and show short little snippets on Facebook and things. The other thing that we've done is we put together a capital levy information page, and this can be found right off of the main webpage. So if you have people that want to know about the levy, they're starting to hear about it, and I have questions, encourage them to go to our webpage. This can be this page specifically can be accessed right from the main page. It's on the middle menu bar. It says levy. But if you scroll down, you can see we have information about the information sessions. So if they want to come to those, shares why we need a new water system. There's the ballot language that they will see on their ballot. If you scroll down, there's how much will it cost. There's frequently asked questions. If you do look at that document and you have any questions that you think we need to add to that, please let me know and we'll add it. And then the final thing is a video that's video slides that actually Ed and I use when we're out talking to people. And we put a narration to that system so that somebody could watch it. It's a 3-minute video, so it's real accessible. And I should note that Ed and I have done a lot of conversations with groups, but Justin and Ed went and presented to the middle school and they got a applause. I think they got a standing ovation, is what they told me. So, but anyway, it's the water system levies on the ballot for April 28th, and we just need to make sure that we're getting the word out there and talking to as many people as we can. So, you know, anybody that has questions, please direct them to the webpage and then to these information sessions. 13th and the 15th are after ballots are out, so we'll be really publishing that to the community so that they can come and get questions answered. And that's all I have. Oh, I do have one more slide with dates. So next week's conference week, Spring Fest, which Zach told us about, is on Saturday between 11 and 3. It's at the high school. And we have spring break. Then we have a board work session on the 15th and a board meeting on the 29th.
Thank you. Any questions? Nope, and the new business. Classroom and student technology purchases.
Justin, you want to explain this one real quick?
Yep. So the three items on there are part of our classroom cycle. So the replacement of interactive panels, replacing projectors. There is also replacement of teacher laptops. It's time for that rotation in the buildings, and then also rotation of or update with Chromebooks. So kindergartners coming in, fifth graders going to sixth, and eighth graders going into ninth is our typical. So, and then we'll use a lot of the parts from those. We will use to repair other machines. So it's actually been kind of nice this year. Technicians working on Chromebooks have not asked for me to buy a single part. I guess that's fortunate. There's enough parts that we have that we're able to use parts from other ones that we take out of service to repair the ones that in a couple of these cases, I was able to continue to get pricing that we got last year for some of these items. And then there was there's the laptops. If you've been watching technology, RAM is become a major issue. Manufacturers of RAM are sold out until 2028, which is causing a huge. It's ramping up like the price of gas, and with that, so I'm trying to get on the on-ramp with some laptops that had lesser priced RAM before those get sold out and the price goes up further. So, but all of this is part of the normal cycle.
On demand. Okay, so do we need to approve each of these individually, or can we have a motion to approve the Chromebooks, teacher laptops, classroom interactive panels at once?
You can do it. Unless you choose to separate.
I would move that we approve purchase of student Chromebooks, teacher laptops, and classroom interactive panels as illustrated on our sheets here, the three different purchase orders.
I'll second that.
Second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I abstain.
Thank you. Purchase orders from Laura.
Before the price goes up.
Yes, exactly.
All right, next item is science adoption.
So this is the science curriculum that you learned about in our work session last time. And we're just seeking approval so we can move forward and implement it.
Exciting. Got it. I have a motion to approve the adopted mystery science as the K-5 science program. I'll move. Yeah, your seconds. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it was fairly cheap on the.
That was fantastic, yeah. All right, building condition assessments.
So this is our ICOS reports, and Casey, you want to say just a little bit about what these are? And
Yes, I'll keep it real brief. So the asset preservation program
was implemented in 1994, and it's for any building that you have used school construction assistant program funds. So every year, we have to update the building condition assessment report and present it to the board. And then every 6 years, we actually have to get it approved, that report with a resolution. And we won't need to do that until 2031 for the middle school and the primary school, which is the ones that are on the rolls. And so this is just the annual report that's been updated from last year.
Any significant changes from last year?
Some, not really. Primary school lost some points due to condition of the roof. But that was the majority. The middle school, we've done some improvements like tile in the bathrooms and such. However, it was not a structural component, so it didn't really change the score. But it does reflect. We got rid of comments that said failing tile and such. So it's just cleaning it up every year, and it helps to inform your capital improvements planning. So.
And Casey, if you can wait a minute,
Yeah.
I should introduce Casey. Casey Wyatt has worked with us on the bond proposal and then does our ICOS reports with us. She is program manager and works to come in and is helping us with the water system.
Have her on speed dial.
Yeah. There you go.
And she
Sorry.
answers. Thank you very much. All right, so we need a motion to approve the building condition assessments reports. I'll move.
Hang on a second.
Second, Susie. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, next item, resolution 2506, reduced education plan.
So this is a RIF resolution. This is the third year in a row now where we've had to do this. We are not sure that we need to RIF anybody at this point. There is a good possibility that through attrition, we will be able to take care of everything this year. But we don't know that for sure yet, so I need the resolution as to be in place in case we do need to make some adjustments to current staff.
It allows us to, if needed.
Yes, exactly.
Both those.
And you would let us know.
Yep.
So can I get a motion to approve resolution 2506 that will reduce staffing levels for the 26-27 school year?
So moved.
Your seconds?
1 second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Hopefully attrition takes place because it's a little nicer when that happens. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't
Absolutely
look,
the goal, yeah.
look as bad.
All right, next item is overnight trip requests, state sports med competition.
This is a 2-night overnight trip up to Tacoma with the state sports med, with our sports med students. To compete. I believe this is the state competition that they're going.
Last year was the first time doing that?
2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yep. So we have more students qualifying this year.
Okay.
There's 15 students heading to Tacoma.
Well,
That's great turnout, yeah. Good for them for qualifying. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I will move to approve the overnight travel for the 15 sports med students and 2 chaperones to attend the state competition in Tacoma, April 16th to the 18th.
I can second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Trip is approved. Oh, these are what's nice.
Yes.
A monetary donation.
So this is a monetary donation from Stephen Fine. It's $8,251 to be used towards school lunches. And I believe this is his mother asked for this to be.
Stephen's mother passed away and it was in her will to leave a percentage of the proceeds.
Yes. I just happened to be in the office when he came in and was able to thank him, and thank his mother, even though she wasn't here today, but yeah,
We're gonna send them a card.
yes.
Warms my heart.
Thanks for that. All right, we need a motion to approve the donation, accept the donation.
I'll move.
Is it moved? So here a second?
I could second.
For seconds. Discussion, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Accepted. Second monetary donation from the Chehalis tribe,
Yes.
$8,660.
Roughly around the same amount.
Yeah, this was delivered at the high school and the high school is gonna be using it to support different programs and ASB activities and athletics.
Very nice.
Does that go into the ASB fund or where does that go?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. ASB, okay. Thank you.
So the kids will have control as to that.
Okay, okay.
Awesome.
I will make the motion to approve that monetary donation from Mr. Haley's tribe.
Thanks, Dale. Second.
I'll second.
And who's second then?
Okay.
Normally I get. I said I was.
Oh, yes, yeah. Okay, what do you second?
Yeah, that's usually what I say, so. like,
Okay.
Yeah.
We did both second it.
First is
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Donation accepted. All right, next item is graduation dates and attendance.
Yes, so we just need to, maybe you already know if you want to attend or not, but I need to put it on your radar so you start to think about who would like to be at Hart graduation, which takes place on June 5th. I think last year we had all but one board member there. And then the RHS graduation, which is on June 7th. And hopefully we can have a number of you in attendance at that graduation as well. So board members wear a graduation gown and sit up on the stage and present diplomas to kids. So it's kind of looking for some discussion here, if you know what you're doing or if you know what you think you want to do.
I expect to attend both.
Yeah. I have put it on my save the date. Let's see what happens. I don't think the World Cup's gonna get in the way, not middle of June.
Okay, so Grant, I hear trying to do both, Francisco both,
Yes.
I'll try to do both.
okay?
I'm going to be sad. I am not going to be able to be available for the Hart graduation on Friday. I'm going to be going to Portland for the Rose Festival. But I plan on being back here for the June 7th, for the Sunday
Okay.
at the St. Martin's. I'm always looking forward to that.
Heather's gonna-
We count on Heather.
I imagine Hart's a little shorter, right? Because it's less students.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun.
Okay.
Blast.
I've never attended the Hart one.
Yeah, and we do it right out back here. We put up a tent and
Okay.
it's
It was
a nice
hot last year.
celebration. It was hot.
Hot, yeah, but it's nice.
All right, now we have time for any additional public comment for items not on the agenda. Online. Then I'll be in the room. Okay, with that, we are gonna move to executive session for approximately 20 minutes. Do not expect to make any decisions. So 7:10. Let's take a 5-minute break. Plan to be back by 7:35 to close the meeting.
Are we singing here?
Yeah,
Are we gonna need our laptops for the executive session?
no,
Don't wait up on you.
It's dying on me too, but
Okay, we're back. Grant, Chairman?
we're back. We're gonna need 10 more minutes in our executive session. So we will be back at 8:47,
All right, back in.
8:48,
Pause it and then mute everything. 1 moment.
07. Thank you.
Like an hour.
Go ahead, Grant.
Okay. Thank you all for your patience, and we went a little over time. It is 7:54, and we are adjourned.